So I want to start. This is actually the second horror movie that you two have made together. So what was the working dynamic now that you've known each other and known each other in this scary scenarios?
Uh,
Well,
oh,
no, go ahead, Ashley. Go, go.
I was gonna say it was I was excited. Sean and I work really well together, and I think he's a phenomenal actor and an even better human. And so when they talked about bringing Sean onto this, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. So that was exciting, but also like it's so different from the relationship that we had in Aftermath that we get to have in It Feeds. That's like as an actor, like you just want to like play and do different things and see different sides of people. And so I was really excited. For him not to be the person that I tried to lean on, for him to be someone who actually creates a lot of turmoil in my life. I thought this will be fun because he's also the nicest human. So to get to
Oh,
see him in a little bit darker of a shade, I was really excited about. I thought you nailed it.
yeah, and for me, yeah, Ashley was already cast, so I read the script and loved it, and I knew that Ashley was in the film and was going to be sort of this like huge presence in the movie. So the only downside is like we didn't have as much screen time as we did on Aftermath, just because of the type of relationship. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun to trust the people that you know, and it's again, it's just enjoyable to show up on set and be like, have a friendly relationship, a friendly face, someone that you like, you trust and you know, and you've spent time together. And that always makes it easier coming onto a film. Cause usually it's like, well, I don't really know anybody on this. It's like a bunch of strangers and we get to know each other really, really quickly. But it's always nice. Like I showed up and it was like, oh, there's Ashley. Hey, what's up? And she's already been working for a week and it's just a fun thing. But it was also enjoyable, sort of like Ashley said, to just come in and do something completely different. That was part of what I enjoyed about this character, and is that like, oh yeah, I get to be kind of like an antagonist in this, and yeah, that was just something that was different. And I felt if we were going to do another movie together, it was kind of fun to have the sort of opposite dynamic that we did the first time.
Yeah. One of the main themes of the movie that I think is such an interesting moral question to grapple with is when you should help somebody and when you should protect yourself. So, do you think that that theme plays out differently when it is a parent-child relationship versus when it is solely self-preservation for your characters?
Oh yeah, I think it's such a. I mean, in my life, and I think on the screen too, it's like you would do anything to save your child, and at that point, nothing matters anymore, and you're kind of laser focused on that. Versus with yourself, I think there's the. I mean, you do want to maintain self preservation, but I think that goes out the window when your child's involved,
Mhm.
and then it is about them.
Yeah, and I could really relate to Randall in a lot of ways, which maybe sounds very dark because you know he's kind of the antagonist and the actions that he's doing without giving too much away, spoiler wise. But and I was saying this in another interview, like I think Randall doesn't think he's the villain. I think Randall is making very very bad choices and difficult choices against this impossible situation. Right? He's just watched his wife wither away and die, and now he's watching his daughter do the same. If you really ask yourself, what would you do to stop that from happening? You probably end up down a dark road pretty quickly. And that's kind of the way I tried to approach Randall. It's like he's doing the wrong thing, but for the right reason. And so I think that makes him at least redeemable, and not, a straight up villain. He's stuck in an impossible situation and he's just trying to save the one person that he has left in his life, and it happens to be his daughter. So I could really relate to that character and his pain and the choices he was making.
Yeah, and so Sean, I was browsing through your social media, saw you're a huge Pocket Collector fan,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm curious if when you're building these characters, since that is such an important part of your life, are you filing away like when you're building them, oh, this person would use this type because it is,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
curious.
Well, okay, yeah. So to be clear, so I own a small company called Peace Neighbor, and I design and manufacture like pocket tools, pry bars, keychains,
Mhm.
pocket knives, stuff like that. And I've always been interested in that. And during COVID, that design side kind of came out because I was like couldn't act, and I just wanted to design something and actually make something. So that's kind of how I started that company. Um, but yes, especially like a character like Randall, who's he has like a cabinetry like table making. So it's like yeah, he would have certain types of tools, and we built. Chad Archibald was the biggest part of that because we put this whole like files and hammers and stuff together for the one scene where um, Ellie's character comes and kind of confronts Randall at home. And yeah, we had all these tools and stuff, and I was like, oh, this feels cool. I like all this stuff. But yeah, I think about that. I played an FBI agent on a TV show, and that's where I really got into what he would carry, like what his use would be, and flashlights and a pocket knife and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, honestly, it's male. I find predominantly male. Uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like accoutrement. I feel like it's style as much as it is function, because if you go down this pocket, it's like your wallet matches your keychain, matches your pry bar, matches your flashlight. And I'm like, it's just a representation of style for a lot of people too. So it's like, it's all a part of this collection and like a part of like looking and representing a certain way. And yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. And Ashley, you've played a very famous clairvoyant role in the past, but how do you feel like Cynthia's clairvoyancy is different maybe from Alice's and their ability to form relationships with those closest to them?
Yeah, well, I felt because Cynthia uses telepathy, like it almost bordered on more of what Rob's or Edward's
Mm.
gift was in the reading of minds, versus, with Alice, she could see the future, but I feel like these things happened to her and then they navigated that. And with this, it's not happening to Cynthia. She's making this conscious decision of going, okay, I'm going to enter, with your consent, I'm going to enter into your brain and unlock these really painful parts of your past in order to allow you to be free. I certainly think that Alice, if she had that opportunity, would do the same thing for other people. Like, I think there is a similarity in their having supernatural abilities, and there is the similarity of them being very compassionate people that does really care about helping other people. So I thought that was kind of a fun nod back to her. And obviously, with Cynthia, there's a lot more darkness that
Mhm.
is surrounding her, and the stakes felt a lot more personal and a lot higher.
Mhm. And my favorite horror movies are the ones that use ghosts and demons as metaphors for internal struggles, and It Feeds is a great example of that. So, what is it about the horror genre that allows you as actors to maybe go somewhere that reaches a wider audience than a straight up drama would?
Yeah, I mean, I think because, like you said, like this is almost it's the mixing of the drama with the horror. It's the mixing of this kind of psychological element with then the supernatural horror element on top of it, and so it creates this really beautiful layered experience for people. Where I'm not necessarily interested in going in and just doing like a super gory for no reason film. Nothing against them. It's just not something that I heavily connect to. But when I walked in and read this script, I was like, oh my God, there's so much going on with these characters. There's so much that they're fighting internally and mentally that then kind of evolves into what they have to experience physically. And I think that's a really, it's just kind of a full ride for an audience. Like, I think it touches on so many things wholly.
Mhm.
Yeah, I also feel like, and I've always felt like this about, well, all genre, whether it's science fiction or fantasy or horror, it I think it allows you to explore everyday emotions, trauma within a kind of a broader, more entertaining landscape. You're adding the supernatural element to it. So, and I think people enjoy that, like disconnecting from the everyday, everyone's problems. Like we all have to deal with this stuff all the time. I think telling a legitimate story or a grounded story within a genre like horror allows an audience to sort of still escape because we're watching the supernatural thing, but also process, in this case, emotional trauma. And so I think it allows an audience to still feel like there's some escape and entertainment while still dealing with, very grounded subjects.
Yeah. Well, thank you both so much for your time and congratulations on the film.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Tina.
much.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye, Tina.
Bye.
Bye.